gonna give a few minutes here and just let people make the transition if they're interested in hopping in this room. So we'll give it a couple minutes to see if some other people join, and then I'll give a nice overview again, as well as a little bit more information about Bankable, and we'll go from there. Looks like we've got some more people joined in here, so maybe we'll give it a couple more minutes to see if some others are still figuring out, the technology behind it and making the transition in here. So give it just a couple more minutes. Then I'll give an overview again and invite any questions you guys might have. We've also got Bankable Relationship Manager in the chat too. So if you do have an interest in getting an application started after all this is going, we can have you connect with them and they can get you started too. So we'll give it just a couple more minutes and see if there are others that might join here initially. Okay, got a few people in here. I'm going to go ahead and do one more quick overview on some of the things I mentioned about Bankable. But what I would love to get to quickly is just give you guys the chance to ask some questions that you feel like you need answers to in order to have a good understanding of what relief products Bankable is offering, to give you a chance to hop into the other rooms as well, so you can take in all the information you need to. So we are Bankable, which is a CDFI, SBA microlender and community advantage lender that serves only the state of Indiana. We have a lot of relationships in South Bend and have been active there recently. So we were excited to be included by the city of South Bend in this program, and even be one of the grant awardees from the city of South Bend to be able to offer this product to small businesses there. So we're excited about that. So basically what Bankable does, we are a nonprofit organization. We work with small businesses that are traditionally not ready for bank financing products to try and provide affordable small business loans, as well as coaching, mentoring, special projects, basically to help businesses start and grow to the point where they can graduate back to the bank and no longer need financing from groups like us. So I know right now during these crazy times, everything's a little bit up in the air, and there's a million different relief products, whether that's federal, state, local, and I know it's difficult to keep all of them straight. So, but in specific, what Bankable is doing, and I can drop some links to some flyers here in the chat that you can access. But essentially, we're offering two different loans. One we're calling a Reboot Loan, which is going to be focused more on businesses that have either had to close, unfortunately, or are temporarily closing so that they can try and conserve cash, or have had to make that hard decision. And that Reboot Loan will be used for those businesses. We'll take a look. The documentation is going to be very, very streamlined, very little. We're just going to do 1 year of tax returns, a credit release form, photo ID. So it's going to be very limited documentation. There's no minimum credit scores. It's going to be very, very streamlined. So we'll take all that information in. You have a loan officer that will work with you. Goal is to have decisions made in 2 days. Basically, for those Reboot loans, we try to provide a pre-approval so that you have the money whenever it does come time for you to make the decision to reopen. We can fund that right away, and then hopefully that provides the business a jump start to get things well underway again. The second product that we're offering is the Quick Bridge Loan. So that's going to be met more for the businesses who are still operating or trying to operate in a relatively normal capacity, but are clearly strained by reducing sales, more expensive cost of goods sold. Maybe they need more inventory, whatever that might be. The Quick Bridge is going to be meant to try and give them a few months of cover until things can start to return more to normal. So same idea on the Quick Bridge, where it's going to be limited documentation, fast turnaround. The key difference between those two products is more so what the situation is for the business, whether they're closed or open or whatever that looks like. So in regards to some of the terms, the maximum interest rate is going to be 8%, but we're going to try to lower that even more because this is a largely grant partnership loan. So we're going to work really hard to keep that down. There are deferral options for initial payments. We don't start out granting a deferral, but obviously, if you get started up and things aren't ready to make a payment in 60 days, then we're gonna defer that. So there are definitely options there to do that as well. All fees are going to be waived. So we never have application fees, but there's going to be no closing fees associated with any of these loans. So there will be no out-of-pocket expenses to take one of these loans either. So loans are going to be very affordable. Once it does get to repayment, it's going to be flat monthly payment, fully amortized. There's no early prepayment penalties once the business is back up to steam and you'd like to pay it off. So very, very friendly terms. But yeah, that is a quick overview. But for those that are in here, if you do have questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask what you'd like, or put something in the chat here, and I'll do my best to help you out.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm good, Kyle. I just have a question. Can you throw out an amount where in which the loan will start? Like, what is the amount that we'll be able to apply for?
Sure. Yeah. So we're starting out with the basis of up to $20,000.
Okay.
Now our loan program, we do loans up to $50,000 through one program and up to $250,000 in another program. But from a marketing material standpoint, we've been saying up to $20,000 for these Reboot and Quick Bridge loans, mostly from the speed side of things. We could look at more. It might just make it take a little bit longer. But for the up to $20,000, those are the ones we're going to turn around in just a day or two to try to have a decision made on this.
Okay. And can you just talk about the process, like as far as obtaining the application? Do we need to go through the city since they helped put this together, or how would we get the process rolling?
Yeah, great question. So we're going to take it through just like one of our normal loan applications, and all that really is we have a very simple online application on our website. We have here, I hope that one of them are still in here, Esther and Bailey, who are in this message right now. They're actually two of our relationship managers. Okay. So what I would do is make sure we get you connected with them. But yeah, it's a really quick online application, takes maybe 10 minutes. As soon as that gets submitted, it comes in. We collect some of the basic documents, and it's moving straight through underwriting. So it's not a special link or different application. We already have that ready to go. Actually, Esther, Bailey, if you can hear this, would you guys mind dropping the link to the application or to the website in the chat here so people can see that too? But yeah, if you'd like to connect with one of those relationship managers, feel free to put your email address in here, or we can have Bailey and Esther put their email addresses in here too, so that you can follow up with them personally if you'd like.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm trying to find it.
HR, Jung, it looks like they're in the chat. You'd mentioned what options are there for nonprofits. So for the Reboot and the Quick Bridge loan that we're talking about specifically, those are right now only available for for-profit businesses. I would encourage you to, I'm sure you heard about, you've heard all about the federal, stimulus programs right now. Obviously, PPP programs temporarily out of funding. We hope that that's going to be re-increased. So I would encourage you still to pursue that avenue. Although we have been processing PPP loans, we've reached capacity for those. But what we can do is, if we get your email address, we can send you a link directly that includes other sources that we know are offering PPP loans, even if you're not a client. So we would be happy to, if we get your email, we'd be happy to send that list to you so you can look at those resources as well.
And Kyle, did you say the loan program is starting like right now, or is this something called Reboot, right? And we're still in the middle of kind of crisis right now, so I'm wondering where that fits in sort of the schedule.
Sure. So we are accepting applications today, and ready to process these immediately. If the Reboot loan type is the thing that you're interested in, or know someone that would be interested in, we'll start the application today. And even if that, if we can get to a decision in 2 days, so you have $20,000, approved and waiting for you for when you do decide to open, that's kind of the goal. So, we'll wait the Reboot one will be different because we'll wait to fund the loan until it is clear that, you are ready to open, and, by local or state government, you can reopen. But yeah, we are taking applications today and starting to process those. So for the Quick Bridge type loans, if we could take an application today and everything checks out, we could be funding those in 2 days, 3 days. So applications are live. The only thing I would mention, we're funneling everything through our normal application. So just be sure to mention whatever loan officer or relationship manager you're working with. Just tell them that you're working through. Because your business is likely located in the city of South Bend or the area, this program's already going to apply to you. Just make sure you mention to them that's the area you're coming from, and this is how you heard about it. And we are making sure, no loan application like anywhere is always a guaranteed approval. But because there is a large grant funding and loan dollar support partnership here, it's going to make our underwriting process a whole lot more lenient. So that's really what we're more focused on, is just getting things approved and loans out the door for as much as we can, rather than being really critical about the applications we're looking at.
Great. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, of course. And Martin, if you're interested in talking directly with a relationship manager, I know at least Esther is active here in the chat. Bailey might be here as well. So if you'd like to talk with them individually, or me as well, make sure we get your contact information, and we can follow up with you. Okay, looking at the chat here, couple of new names in here. I think I see Caitlin and Henry. I'm not sure at what point you guys had joined, so if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself or send something here in the chat, and I can address that directly. Even if that would be you just would like me to kind of start back at the beginning, I can do that too. So if you got a question, please feel free to unmute yourself.
Yes, I do have a question. My question is pertaining to sole proprietors. I own a barbershop. I don't have a business that's predicated on sales. What I do is I rent chairs, and they work as independent subcontractors under my business. How does that affect me applying for a loan?
Sure. So, with you having your own established business entity, even if that's, a sole prop, you're still eligible to apply for either one of these loans. So, to talk a little bit more about the documentation we're looking at, we're really cut back what we're requiring on these just to try to get through that process. So, if we can get into your tax returns, you being a sole prop, that might just all be done through your personal tax returns. So that would be it. If you do have some financials, we'll use them. If not, that's fairly common for, a sole proprietor that maybe it's just running all through your tax returns. That's okay too. And then we have what we're, I guess, calling a basic cash flow projection sheet for trying to help. It's a very simple sheet that we have a video walkthrough guide, and your relationship manager, loan officer could help you. Basically, it's just to help you fill out how things were looking, how they're looking now, and how you expect them to kind of bounce back as we start to exit this. And that's really what we're going to be trying to base decisions off, and how things looked before all of this, so we get an idea of what normal looked like. So yeah, both for Reboot and QuickBridge would be eligible for those requests. Let's see here. Caitlin, could you please do a quick recap for those of us that just joined? Sure. So as I mentioned, we are Bankable. We are nonprofit, SBA microlender, CDFI, community advantage lender. I know all that's kind of like alphabet soup, but we're a nonprofit organization that serves only the state of Indiana. What I feel like there's what you were before COVID and what you were during. I mean, we're still the same organization, but the pitch I would say before is, we typically work with businesses that are not quite ready for bank financing. So a lot of times that's startups, or, maybe you haven't had 2 years of profitability yet, or maybe you have a damaged credit score, or things like that. So our mission is to work with those businesses, try to provide some financing along with the financing, provide coaching, mentorship, help on marketing, bookkeeping, all that kind of stuff, to the point where hopefully you can graduate back to traditional financing and you don't need a service like ours anymore. So that's typically what we're doing for businesses in the state of Indiana during this time right now. Groups like us, and we're all just focused on trying to facilitate as many of these relief programs and information about them as possible. So particularly during this time, we're offering what we call a Reboot Loan and a QuickBridge loan. Initially, we said they both can go up to $20,000. That's not exactly the cap. The reason we set the $20,000 is because that's up to that amount, we can move very fast. If we have this document, we can have a decision made in just about 2 days. So the Reboot Loan is going to be focused for those businesses that have unfortunately had to close, or maybe temporarily close. Maybe they chose to close temporarily just to try and conserve cash. So that loan will be meant to take it in, try to get pre-approval quickly, so that whenever you are ready to open up, we can fund that immediately, and then kind of get the business jump started back open again for costs, inventory, catching up on rent, anything like that. Where the QuickBridge is going to be meant for those businesses that are still operating, they're still chugging along, but obviously sales are probably down a little bit. Maybe cost of goods sold is more expensive. Maybe payroll's a little bit harder to carry right now. So the QuickBridge is going to be meant more for those businesses to try and help, provide a buffer for a few months until things can start to recover a little bit more. So if we've got, see some more people jumping in here. If you got some questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask or drop something in the chat here.
Good morning, Kyle.
Morning.
I'm Pilo from Pilo's Body Shop in Mishawaka, Indiana. Actually, Pilo's Body Shop and Auto Sales LLC in Mishawaka, Indiana. I just joined in. I didn't get to hear much of what you said. I am interested in your services. How can I go about getting some more information or applying for the services? I'm particularly interested in the quick bridge loan.
Okay. Yeah. So we are. I guess to answer the back half of your question there, and I can give you a recap on Bankable. To get started, it's very simple. We have 2 relationship managers actually here in the chat room with us. So if you'd like to follow up and talk with them personally, please drop your email in here so they can follow up with you and set up a time to talk. Our process is very simple. We have a very basic online application. It takes about 10 minutes to fill out. Once that comes in, we just get the rest of the documents we need collected. And then, we're kind of well on the way there. So us as an organization, not sure at what point you popped in, we are a nonprofit, just providing small business loans and coaching to businesses in the state of Indiana. Typically, before all of this happened, our moniker was kind of, we're working with the businesses that aren't ready for the bank to try and help them get financing, get coaching, grow their business to the point where they are ready for financing. Right now it's less of a focus on who's ready for the bank and who's not, and more just about how we can get the needed, funds and relief programs to the people that need them. So that's obviously what we're doing right now. The Quick Bridge program, we've set it at up to 20,000. Technically we could look at more than that. The reason we put it at 20,000 is just because that's the amount for us that we can move very quickly and get decisions made very fast. Up to that point, probably more flexible on underwriting too. The idea of the Quick Bridge program, is meant for those businesses, excuse me, that are still operating, still kind of plugging along through all of this, but are obviously experiencing some challenges, whether that's decreased sales, increased costs, kind of thing. So the Quick Bridge is meant to try and help provide more of a buffer for a few months till things can start to return more to normal. So Quick Bridge is not going to be, the substitute for the PPP program, probably. I know that that's temporarily out of funding. We were offering those as well. But if that's also a program you're really interested in, again, a lot of the banking institutions here today are talking about them, but we can also, we've compiled a list of lenders we know to be offering PPP loans that do not require you to be an existing customer. So if you'd want to get that too, feel free to say so in the chat here and provide email address, and we can provide that information.
Okay, is my microphone still on? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So where do I drop the email?
Are you on your excuse me, are you using your phone or a computer right now?
I'm on my computer, or I got my phone next to me, and I'm also got a tablet to write.
Okay, so if you have, depending upon where you have this video chat program open, there is an option to open up a chat or the conversation, and you can drop your email and you can type it in right there. And one of our relationship managers that's here in the group will follow.
Oh, in the message?
Yeah, if that's okay.
The comment. I'm sorry, the comment.
Yeah, sure. That works great.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to I get what you're saying, but I'm trying to figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so show conversations. Okay, I'm showing conversations. Let me see. Okay.
All right, looking through here in the chat while Pilo works on that. If you have more question, let me know on that. But we do have a few new names in here. Looks like Amy, maybe Melissa, Norman, a couple of new people. So if you just joined and you already have a question, feel free to unmute yourself. If you'd like me to just do an overview again, I can do that too.
Hi, Kyle. My
Hi.
name is Melissa. I work with a small not-for-profit theater that just moved from South Bend to Mishawaka.
Okay.
So 2 questions. First one, do you have a product for Mishawaka businesses? We're not-for-profit. And the second question is, we don't have employees. We're an all-volunteer operation, but we have a brand new mortgage and other operating costs that we need to keep up with, even though right now we can't provide a product ourselves until this passes.
Sure.
So I'm wondering if there's anything in your little black bag for us.
So I try to hit each of those questions there. So we can lend to, I believe, yeah, Mishawaka should be fine. I think that all falls into this. You know, we can lend anywhere in the state of Indiana, but I think through the specific South Bend initiative, I think they're kind of saying the greater South Bend area. So I think that would still work out. The 2 programs I'm talking about here today, more particularly the Reboot and the Quick Bridge Loan, those are limited currently to for-profits, just because that's a limitation that our organization has just in our lending guidelines. But I think that they're, you know, with not having a paid staff, obviously the whole PPP program probably wouldn't be an option you'd be interested in. You know, there's a lot of programs I'm sure you've heard going on right now. One that comes to mind would be the EIDL, or the Economic Disaster Loans. But, you know, I know that program's having challenges of their own too, just with limited amounts of funding. I know that the application process crashes. There's kind of a whole mess of things going on there too.
Also, just to let you know, we did apply for that.
Okay.
And the only thing that we've gotten back so far is a message that talks about how they're prioritizing according for employees. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean no, it just means probably not for
Sure.
us. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Well, I think it may be something, Melissa, that I can check on for you. And if you'd like a follow-up, feel free to put your email in the message here. We've got 2 of our relationship managers in the chat here as well, so they're going to help me with some follow-ups. But because this loan program, you know, this pool that we're talking about doing these programs is popping up through a partnership, both with some of our loan dollars and as well as some grant funding from the city of South Bend to offer these. I'm wondering if maybe because of that creative structure, we may be able to lend some of them to nonprofit businesses as well. But that's something, you know, this is all developed very quickly. So I'm not sure of that detail yet, but I will absolutely check on that for sure. And if it does look like that's something we can do, we can definitely follow up and have you, or at least give you that information so you can choose if you'd like to apply or not. But I would still encourage you to check with the other CDFIs that are talking today as well, because they might be catering theirs more towards nonprofits as well.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anyone else has a question, feel free to unmute yourself and share your question. I'll do my best to help you.
Hey, Kyle.
Yes,
It's Kilo again. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to figure out how to get your information in the chat and or possibly leave my information in the chat for contact references. Yes.
So if you are looking to have a follow-up conversation, whether that's in more detail or even interested in getting an application started, if you feel comfortable doing so and you're able to open up this comment conversation section, I'd encourage you to drop whatever email address or phone number is best for you. We've got two relationship managers in the chat room with us here, so they'll be able to take that information down and help you get an application started. We can also, Esther, Bailey, if you can hear this, would you mind? Okay, it looks like Bailey already added, but maybe if you guys could add in all 3 of our email addresses in there again too, just so people can feel free to reach out directly to us if they'd like. Pilo, I think you might have had a question there. back at the beginning, and then you muted yourself again. So if you got a question, feel free to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I went ahead and put my email on the comments. I finally figured out how to use it.
Okay.
But it doesn't show my name there. I guess I didn't register my name in the beginning.
On my screen, it looks like it's showing your name with your email address underneath it, so I can see it in there.
But does it show my name on the that I'm Pilo's Body Shop?
It does. It does for me.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's all you needed, right? They'll reach out to me.
Yep, they'll reach out.
All right, man. Thank you very much. You guys have a great day, and thank you for all your help.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Henry, did you have any luck or have any other extra questions?
I was unable to, somehow the chat is enabled for me, so I'm not able to leave you a message, but I was able to get all 3 emails
Okay.
of Kyle, Bailey, and Esther. So I guess I can just contact you and you guys via email and let you know that I was on this chat, and we could take it from there.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And I would encourage you. I'll put it in here. Even just our link to our website in here. So if you have any interest in reading more about us, or even that's where our applications start too. But yeah, feel free to reach out to any 3 of us, especially Bailey and Esther. They'll treat you great. They're real rock stars. So feel free to contact us, and we'll help you the best we can.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Have a great one, Henry.
You too.
looks like I just saw Michael jump in. Michael, if you've got any specific questions, feel free to unmute yourself and let me know. If you'd like for me to just kind of start from the top and give you a basic overview before you ask any questions, I can do that too. Michael, I can give you just a quick overview of Bankable and what we're offering right now, just in case you don't have a microphone or whatever that may be. So we again are Bankable. We're a nonprofit organization that services the entire state of Indiana. We offer small business loans to businesses that typically aren't able to receive traditional financing or loans from a bank. Right now that's less what it's about and more about just trying to get the relief dollars out to businesses that need them. So the two products in particular that we've been talking about have been what we're calling the Reboot Loan and the Quick Bridge Loan. The Reboot Loan is meant more for those businesses, that have either had to close down temporarily, or maybe close to closing down, but would like to kind of reopen as we near the end of this. So the goal with that would be to get applications in, review them quickly, get a pre-approval made so that you have that money approved, and whenever you're ready to reopen, we would fund that immediately so you could do so. The Quick Bridge Loan is going to be meant more for businesses that are still open, still kind of trudging along here through all of this, but obviously have had challenges with reduced sales, maybe more expensive inventory, some things like that. So that product's going to be meant to try and hold that business over, provide a little bit more of a buffer for a few months, until things look a little bit better and the business is cash flowing. So both loans we're saying can go up to $20,000. We do have the ability technically to go above that, but we've said 20,000 because that amount gives us the ability to move very quickly and make faster decisions. We're saying the term on that, the payback would be probably around 3 years. Interest rate would be maximum of 8%, but likely lower than that. And all of the closing fees related to these loans are going to be waived. So pretty friendly terms, and we expect a pretty high approval rate of these loans going through as well. So if you do have any interest in applying for those, feel free, if you're able to, you can put your email address in the comments here in the chat here. We've got some relationship managers in this meeting with me, so they'll be able to follow up and get you started or answer further questions on an application if that's something you're interested in. But if you have questions right now too, feel free, if you're able, you can unmute and ask me, or you're able to type a message in here too if you don't have a microphone.
Yeah, thank you, Kyle, for sharing that information. Very helpful. I am the Diversity Inclusion Officer for the City of South Bend, so I'm jumping in and out of the sessions to hear what individuals like yourself have to share and say, and then watching the individuals that are joining. And so hopefully your audience is asking engaging questions and getting some information that's going to be helpful to them to move forward.
Yeah, and thank you very much for the work you're doing with the city and for including us in this too. This has been fun so far. We've had a pretty good number of people flowing in and out of these meetings, so I hope that folks are able to find out a lot of information from a bunch of different places and find something to help them out.
Yeah, good deal.
Hi, Sonia.
Hi, Kyle. How you doing?
Good. We had a lot of people come through. So
Fantastic. Well, it looks like it's a little quieter here now, but I was popping in with a 10-minute warning. And for anybody who is still on the line, a reminder that all of the recordings and the resource guide with contact information from everybody that you heard today will be up on the city website very soon. So you can access all of that information, and then please don't hesitate, reach out to any or all of us. We definitely want to keep this conversation going forward.
yeah, absolutely. And, thank you again for all of your help through all of this to get things coordinated. We've already got, I've had 2 of our relationship managers kind of in and out today, and they're already planning on Monday to reach out to all of our referral partner network in South Bend to make sure, we don't want to leave any of the dollars unused. So we'll get them all out there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Kyle. I really appreciate you being on this morning.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to sign off and do this spiel in the other chats, but
All right. See ya.
bye-bye.